Hey everybody, what's going on? Jason here, and this is the first video that I'm recording in 2021, so I want to say Happy New Year to everybody. So one of the things we want to do here on Listography in the new year is bring you a lot more content, and I think a large part of that is going to end up being focused around new music. We've got ideas for other shows and topics we want to cover and other things we want to do on the channel as well, but I think doing more music reviews for new releases is going to be something we really try to emphasize this year. But if you're not into new music, no need to worry. We don't plan on cutting back any of the other content at all. We're still going to get the listographies every week, the top 10 songs, side 3, albums of the year until that runs out, and then we've got some other ideas that we may replace it with. So today I'm going to start things off talking about the first record that I listened to in 2021, one of the few albums to drop on New Year's Day, and that is Circuit Boredom by Ben Kweller. Ben Kweller is an indie pop, indie rock, power pop, whatever you want to call him, musician from Texas. As a teenager, he was in the band called Radish. I think he joined Radish when he was only like 12 years old or something. They made a record or two, and then the label they were on was absorbed into another label, and due to that merger, they were able to get released from their contract, and following that, Ben started making solo albums. His early solo releases, like Sha Sha and On My Way, are some of my favorite indie pop records of the early to mid-aughts. He continued releasing solid records following those up until 2012's Go Fly a Kite, and he hasn't released anything since then. So this is his first record in almost 9 years. I will say if you like big, anthemic, super catchy rock music, this is going to be something you're going to want to check out. He's always been really good at writing memorable, catchy melodies, and that doesn't change on this record. But what does change a little bit is the production. It's a lot bigger, maybe a bit more modern sounding than some of his past work. These songs really sound massive. They're big, they're bombastic. The drum sounds especially are very, very huge sounding, and there's a lot of synth on this record as well. Not really as a lead instrument, the guitars are still at the forefront, but definitely some keys layering in, adding some texture. I do think that this larger production works for this set of songs and what he's doing right now, but just as a personal preference, this isn't really what I want to hear from Ben Kweller. I like the more rough around the edges style of some of his early records, like On My Way, which was produced by Ethan Johns, recorded live, no overdubs. They didn't wear headphones when they recorded it, just live in a room together. I don't think anyone would ever say that Ben Kweller's strength is as a lyricist, even though he does occasionally turn out gems like Sex Reminds Her of Eating Spaghetti. But because the lyrics aren't really the main draw of his work, I think he really benefited from more intimate sounding production that would draw you in and kind of bring you into this world he was building. The larger sound, for me, leaves the songs feeling a little bit hollow. Like I said, they sound great and they're really catchy, but it feels a little bit like their only purpose is to get stuck in your head. Having said that, the opening track, Stars, has a really cool groove. I really like the guitar in the verses. Heart Attack Kid is a great rock tune. I like Hold Me Down. Really, all 8 tracks on this record are enjoyable. They're catchy and they rock. It's a good record, but not exactly what I was hoping for from a new Ben Kweller record, especially after waiting 9 years for it. I was hoping for a little bit more of that 70s rock classicism that was on his early releases. Maybe it's a little unfair of me to want him to retread that ground that he's already covered, but I felt that it worked better for his style of writing. One of the obvious comparisons that always gets made when talking about Ben Kweller is Weezer, and I do think this record is at least as good as even the best Weezer records of the last 15 to 20 years. So it's a worthwhile record. If that's the style of music you really like, I definitely recommend it. I think you'll enjoy it. But beyond the hooks and the catchiness of it, the record doesn't really feel that substantial or that like it has that much to say. As far as a rating goes, I think I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 stars. Overall, an enjoyable record, a good record, but not a record that I think that I will be listening to or maybe even remember 5 years from now. If you've heard it, let me know what you think or go check it out. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this record. Circuit Boredom by Ben Kweller, 3 stars. Thanks everybody for watching. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Check down in the description for links to all of our social media accounts, and we will see you soon.